I welcome you to the best mods for Baldur's Gate 3 for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. So basically, we're going to try to cover all the best mods across the board, but with a bit more of a focus on console, but there's going to be something here for everyone. So if you do get anything out of these videos, consider liking, subscribing. It goes a really long way, and I appreciate your time. Let's get into it. This next incredible mod is called Crazy Color Pack by Alcalca. This mod offers an extensive color palette for various character assets within the game, including horns, makeup, tattoos, hair, pretty much touching on every single aspect of character creation. Here's a bit of a breakdown of some of the key customization features. When it comes to horn, we can now color the horns in two selections, the horn base and then the horn tip. When it comes to hair, we'll also have that same flexibility, being able to just truly make some crazy mixtures of all the various colors that you could ever dream of. For the hair color, there is a selection of 71 custom colors for all humanoids, none of which are reused vanilla ones. This allows for some incredible customization to really make your NPC unique like never before, especially considering when you can change the intensity of some of these hairstyles. The variation in color mixing is truly unlimited with this many. When it comes to makeup, we also have over 200 colors to select from, allowing two different color variations to our eyes as normal. And then when it comes to tattoos, we'll be able to select from one of the 200 colors that has been added. When it comes to compatibility, this will work with all humanoid characters, but to apply this mod or these colors to the Dragonborn, we are going to need another mod, which is available to Xbox users, and that is this mod here, Vanilla CC Colors for all. It's important to note though, if you install this mod and you encounter any issues where you cannot confirm changes in the character mirror, it is likely due to leftover assets from this mod. The recommended fix is to hit the randomize button to recalculate the assets and reset the character customization. But in summary, this mod adds the most flexible amount of color and customization that we've ever seen, making it by far the best sort of color mod to come to Xbox, PlayStation so far. Insane cool customization. Let's keep moving. Here we have the twin blades of Azzinoth Illindari Warglaives by Skiarves. This is a very cool weapon mod, heavily influenced by the iconic Warcraft Illidan Stormrage. The weapons are sort of loosely built around its iconic roots, but the models are very impressive and the execution is near perfection. Now you will need to spawn this with the Cheetah's Ring, so you'll basically need that as a prereq and you'll pick it up from the tutorial chest. Now it'll come with 4 different swords within the pouch or bag. I believe they're identical, one is just more darker than the other, and make sure when you equip them that you have the main hand set and then there'll be one especially for the offhand. If you do get something like this where it is showing a weird color, just try out one of the other versions. One of them is a little bit glitched for me. Now looking at both weapons, when we go for the main hand, we're doing a base damage of 9 to 15 off a 1d4 plus 13 slashing, which ignores resistance, with a bonus of plus 2 slashing, plus 1 fire, plus 1 cold, an additional 1d4 force, which is conditional for Fiery Brand, which will deal an additional 1 to 4 force damage to target branded with the Sigil of Flames. There's a ton more attacks and variations. We also have Organ Rearranger, lowers the required roll for a critical hit by a reroll damage of 2 or less. Taking the higher result, this increases the chance of a higher damage output. You have Weapon Enhancement plus 3, which enhances the weapon's attack roll and damage. Chaos Nova, which is a class action. This unlocks a powerful Chaos Nova ability. Proficiencies are light and finesse, meaning it can be wielded by classes proficient in finesse weapons like Rogue and Monk, etc. And that's just the main hand. And the offhand is just as potent. These two weapons combined add some really interesting, crazy attacks. We have Soul Cleaver, a wide arc hitting multiple enemies within a range with elemental, fire, cold, and physique slashing damage. Then we have First Blood, targets the weak point, dealing more force damage when the target has more than 50 HP. A great opener for maximum damage. We then have Blade Dance. This allows to perform multiple attacks in quick succession for high damage. Then we have Fell Rush. Rush towards an enemy, dealing slashing damage twice in one move. Finally, we have an incredible animation for the Chaos Nova ability. This is a powerful area of effect attack, dealing a mix of necrotic and force damage. Here are the key points of the ability. So the damage is 16 to 64, 8-4D neurotic damage, plus 44 force damage, making it a potent burst of damage. Its effects is unleashing a chaotic explosion, damaging all targets within range, which lasts for 3 turns, with effects applying over that time. However, there is a save mechanic. Enemies that succeed on a strength saving throw will take half the damage, but retain their ability to use reaction. If they fail, they take the full damage and lose their reaction for that turn. The range is 18 meters, allowing you to target enemies from a distance. The usage, however, is only once per battle. pretty gnarly. Crazy, insane weapon. You're going to have a lot of fun with this. It is pretty damn overpowered and amazing, but it's really cool to see a bit of a Warcraft influence weapon mod. Only available on PC for now. Always keep an eye on the description where I'll try update next to the title name and timestamp if it is available on Xbox. Pretty freaking unreal mod. Let's keep moving. This next little mod is just a nice little booster. If you really wanted to be overpowered early game, but it's also perfect for just testing things. I'm covering this because it's available on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, and it's called Instant Level 12 by Deathraz 3. And all it's doing is just changing the requirements for each level to only be 1 XP. And what this will mean is once we land our final hit and level up, we'll actually rank up in level 12 levels, not 1, basically making it an instant level 12. This mod was made intentionally for debugging and mod testing purposes, but a little nifty mod if you want to power through the game just to get the story. Wanted to cover it because it's available for consoles. Neat utility mod. Let's keep moving. Sometimes mods have such huge scope, and this mod is no exception. Offering over 126 new spells, no script extended needed. This is the insanity of Random Killer, who has created Mystra spells. The scope of this mod is just so huge that it's hard to put into a short little mod video, but with 126 new spells across various spell levels, from cantrips to 6. Now there are so many spells, but let's get the breakdown. So at level 0, there are 19 new cantrips. At level 1, you'll have 17 new first level spells. At level 2, 26 new spells. At level 3, 26 new spells as well. 4th level is 16. 5th level, 14. And at the 6th level, there'll be a total of 7 new spells. It's absolutely mind-blowing how many new spells this is. It's game-changing. Highly recommend trying this mod or just keeping it on and mucking around with it. Too many spells to go through, so we'll just keep going. But it's good to know that is available. Olympian Pantheon, created by Sid Meier, adds a total of 39 new gods from Greek mythology and places them in Baldur's Gate 3. So for your cleric, now you have a ton of new options. It incorporates so many deities from Greek mythology, ranging from the well-known Zeus, Hades, Athena, and to the lesser-known figures like Hidon and Echidna. Along with the deity selection, the mod also introduces a book, The Gospel of Olympus, which can be found in the Underdark area of the game. The book is likely to provide lore and additional context about the gods and its features. The mod enables all base classes to choose a deity, which is not a standalone in the base game. So let's see if we can still check. Yeah, okay, we can. So that's kind of interesting. No longer do we have the deity selection locked to just clerics. We can now select any race, pretty much anything, and still have the deity tab applicable. Cool mod if you're role-playing and want a ton of new Greek deities. Let's keep moving. Next one is called Infinite Potions, and this is done by Berlin. Very simple mod. All this does is make potions infinite. So if you've ever found a really special potion that you wish you had unlimited, now you will just have unlimited health, unlimited healing. Certainly a cheat mod, but it could be perfect for your situation. Let's keep moving. We have another little cheat mod, and this one is called Infinite Arrows, also from Belen. This will allow us to have infinite arrows when used as ammunition. Also noting that throwing an arrow will consume it. Nice little cheat mod, giving you unlimited arrows. We have an awesome new Blood Sorcery, a sorcery subclass by Sturm1212. The Blood Sorcery subclass taps into the caster's own vitality, allowing them to use their life force as a source of power. This comes with a cost. Every spell cast causes self-inflicted damage, but grants amplified power in return. Subclass also gains strength when interacting with bleeding enemies or blood surfaces, so you gain a lot of power and momentum by standing in blood. The subclass comes with 12 new spells across multiple levels, each with custom visual effects, which is huge. For instance, as a reaction, we have Blood Rebuke, dealing necrotic damage with a very custom animation. Simple, but awesome. Then there's Blood Sacrifice. This is going to bleed both the caster and the target, creating a blood surface that buffs the cast. We have Bloodbath, an area of effect spell that causes bleeding and inflicts 1d4 necrotic damage to all nearby enemies. So great to have this when you're surrounded by enemies. Some cool custom effects there too, and look at all that blood. And at level 6 we get the Crimson Leech. Drains 12d6 plus 40 necrotic damage from a target if the target dies. It turns to ash. The caster takes 40 necrotic damage, but this is negated if they are bleeding. At level 5, we have the Grasp of the Dead. Summons blood tentacles to restrain enemies by standing on blood surfaces, dealing 8d8 necrotic damage and restraining them for 1 turn. At level 4, we have the Bloodstorm, an area of effect spell that deals 10d6 necrotic damage in a 15-foot radius. The caster takes 1d8 damage per target target hit, but the damage is halved if the caster bleeds. But a really cool effect for the Blood Storm. There are many more cool little spells that come along with this subclass. So the Blood Sorcerer is a high risk, high reward subclass. It leverages the caster's health to enhance spells and gains bonuses. To thrive, players must carefully balance offensive power with self-preservation, using blood surfaces to heal and reduce the drawbacks of self-damage. This subclass is likely to appeal to players who enjoy intense tactical gameplay, where positioning and timing are crucial, especially with features like Blood Vitality, a spell that interacts with blood surfaces. A really unique and fascinating subclass to try. You definitely won't be disappointed by this. Another cool option to get access to some extremely rare and in most cases inaccessible items and weapons depending on your playthrough. This is Esther's Brilliant Acquisition by I Am the Nebby. So to access this mod, we will need to find Lady Esther. Find her in the area just after Act 1, right near Trialta Crags. So just zooming out just to give you an idea. And if you go through the point of no return in Act 2, you will lose her. However, she can appear in Act 3, depending on your choices in Act 1 and 2. If you complete her quest by giving her the egg, she will not make it to Act 3. So therefore, if you do want her to survive in Act 3, you need to ignore her quest in Act 1. Just something to note. Now, another interesting thing is, not all her items will be listed in her inventory. So you may want to consider try using sleight of hand or pickpocketing to get some of the hidden and awesome items. So what does Esther's Brilliant Acquisition offer? Well, it's going to offer a lot of inaccessible items, clothing, weapons. Many of these will be hidden behind killing certain NPCs, doing evil deeds, and a multitude of other things that normally would not allow you to obtain these particular items. But there are so many amazing weapons and armor to choose from. But there's also a few additional changes that are worth noting. For instance, the light crossbow speed was upgraded to legendary, so that there's finally a legendary crossbow in the game, as well as combination axe upgraded to +2 and made very rare, as there's a shortage of powerful axes within the game. And there's a fair few other changes that are unique that this mod introduces and applies to some of these weapons and armor. But there's so much to go through here. It's a cool mod to check out yourself. Currently there is no description detailing all the various items that have been added, but that will be coming in time. This is available on console, PC, an awesome wild mod, some crazy gear, usually unobtainable. Definitely worth checking out. Let's keep moving. This next mod is called Facial Animations, and this is by PK Heartbreak. The facial animation mod for Baldur's Gate 3. This mod adds facial animations to the humanoid characters in the otherworld non-cinematic gameplay. In the vanilla gameplay, facial expressions animation only appear during certain moments, like Barbarian's Rage. This mod will add animations for idling. They'll look around and it just brings them a little bit more alive. Also for spells in combat, there will be more facial animations, as well as when there's various status effects being applied. This is going to add life to character and normal gameplay outside the cutscenes. Some of it being very subtle, other times being very noticeable. This is going to help provide more of immersive gameplay, which is a really nice feature. I love the fact that the characters no longer just have a blank expression. Pretty cool and interesting mod. I like to see this. Let's keep moving.